Hey guys, downstairs again. I got mushrooms because someone said they missed my mushrooms. Macaroni salad, which mushrooms in a way, and I have cucumber underneath, just a little tiny bit of cucumber. Gonna get another paper towel here. Sorry, I gotta raise you up here a tiny bit. They're nice and cool down here. So they're not the whitest I like them, but they're okay. So how are you guys? I put the back light on. Kind of cold down here, but it's okay. So, I found a couple things about ancestry lately. I haven't been digging too much because I've been busy with other things, but like today I did a bit, because it's still today. It will be yesterday by the time you guys see it, but and I discovered that I think she's my, let me think. She's my grandmother's grandmother, I think. Yeah. I found that she was born in 1855 in Berwickshire, yeah, in Scotland, and her father was Peter Jaffrey, Jaffrey, and her mother was Elizabeth Harvey. There isn't really much to say about her life. Like, she's born, she came over here about with her parents at like age 10, got married, had my great-grandfather, and that was it. I don't know much more about her other than that. And that she died of cancer. I know that. Because Ontario is obsessed with writing down cause of death in the old record. Excuse me, I choked on spit. However, I have more interesting news about my grandfather again. The dead one. I am in the process of trying to obtain his birth certificate. I want his papers, so to speak, about everything you can possibly find. And so a friend of mine, that was a subscriber, became a friend, suggested that I write to Aberdeen Council. So I emailed them stating my case, and that was like Friday evening. So like they never responded like during the weekend, so I don't know if they ever will or not, but if they do, I'll certainly let you know. I'm not sure what's in this. I got it at a deli. Cheese. And it was so bland until I put garlic salt on it. I was like, whoa. So anyways, further, like back on what I was saying. I want his birth certificate. I also want his death certificate. Now that will be more easy because he died in Ontario in 1960. So I looked up like obtaining death records, and apparently that's more easy than anything, but you just send away, like, you just need a little bit of information, stuff I know. And you can get either that, like just that particular like certificate, or get a certificate and his medical like records, like papers and stuff, and cause of death stuff, and I'm going to get that. And while I'm at it, I might get his wife's too, my grandmother. They're just papers I want to have. Like, I have my mom's, like, my living grandfather. I have his birth certificate, so why can't I have my dead ones? I'm not even sure if they have birth certificates back then. I think maybe just be registration. But if there is anything out there different, like something different more than like that I know of, I want it. It's what's on a birth certificate. Usually your parents' names, and then I'd get like a more, like, I know what her name is, but it might be more official. Know what I mean? And I'm having my doubts that her last name, well, it could have been the way she spelt it, but see, when you're doing Ancestry, you really have to constantly be aware that people didn't know how to spell. Because all through, like, the names that are in my family, they're all spelt differently throughout the ages. Excuse me. And like Totten was once not to us, but when they were like registering, the person hearing them was writing it down like Totton instead of En, when it really is En. And the only thing that's like actually certain about the spelling is when the actual person writes it down and knows it for themselves. When you just do it verbally, you get all sorts of crap. I couldn't find my great-great-great-grandmother for years and years because I was spelling it the way she would have spelled it. It was T-A-I-T, Tate. Her name was Sarah Jane Tate, T-A-I-T-T. So in years and years, she never said, she was right under my nose the whole time because they spelled it T-A-T-E. So, you have to always have an open mind that the person that was listening to the person's name didn't know how to spell it. And there's even a name that's there's a name called that's Warbrick back in my ancestry somewhere. Long story, but it's Warbrick, and one of his sons or something got registered. I don't know. It's just a story going along, and the registrar wrote it down wardrobe. Isn't that funny? Wardrobe. Mr. Wardrobe. It's funny enough that it's Warbrick, really. So anyways, I lost my thought. Something about names. Oh yeah. Back to the great-grandmother. I'm starting to think that she might have wrote down Maggie Perry, P-E-R-I-E. I have a feeling it might have been like in record, Peary, P-I-R-I-E, yeah. Because there's a lot of Pearys around, I see around that area, like when you look in the records. It comes up like all Banff and Aberdeen. I don't know why, but that's like the two place names that come up all the time with that particular family. So there must have been a lot of people with that name around those places. I'm just going by my experience with New Brunswick ancestry. Certain places have certain pods, families, and most of all those pods are related. So you have to kind of look for certain recurring names in places. That's just my experience. Could be different. But, yeah. So, I usually look up, like, Margaret, not just Maggie, Margaret Perry, and with little success. But there's this website that's called Find My Past, I think. It's like a paid website, you have to pay them. But you can still look, like, and they'll give you, like, names and dates, which is really all I need for free. So I just been typing in random names here, trying to get just a name and a date, because like if you want to see the file you have to pay them. Well, I don't so much need the whole file. It's discouraging not to be able to see it, but excuse me, I'm burping a lot. But what I like, all I need basically is a name and a date, so I can like get on Ancestry.com in the free version that I can access through my library, and look up and confirm and knock off a few people. So I was thinking, she wrote down, because I had like parent signature, you know, write down, is this kid yours? Yeah. Yep. So she wrote down Maggie A. Perry. So I'm thinking, well, A has to be Anne. It just has to, or Agnes or something, but probably Anne. So I looked up Maggie instead of Margaret, and what came up? Bunch of freaking Maggie, but not Perry. Peary, P-I-R-I-E. Born around the same time that that my great grandfather would have been like around 1890, is 1889 and 1891 and like my great grandfather, who's named the same as my grandfather, he was born I think 1891. Well, all these Magyans are like born around that same time, which I found really suspicious. What I really found suspicious is that there was one really, really, really close to where my great grandfather was born. So maybe I am wrong. Maybe they didn't meet work related. Maybe they did know each other as children. Maybe it was a young love fling and mistakes happen. I just don't understand, like, why they didn't get married. I understand, like, people have marital sex in those days too, but usually, like, especially in those days, when being a single mother and stuff and all that was kind of like more taboo than it is now, that the man married the woman. So what the hell happened? That's basically my question. Why didn't they just get married and say, yeah, he's legitimate? What's even more suspicious is like 10 years later, or not even 10 years later, after my great grandfather was born, his father is just like not around. He's like not there. I can't find anyone. I have a feeling I'm going to be in the long haul for this. And what's so maddening to me is it's such a freaking common name. It's like terribly common. So, that's my rant. That's all I've been doing lately. At least I can talk more out loud here. Lately I've been like going to sleep on the sofa because it's like a lot cooler and just a lot more comfortable lately. I had a habit of that as a kid. I'm not even a kid, teenager, young adult, sleeping on the sofa. I don't know, it's just that camping feeling. I'm sleeping out in the wild. It's actually my living room. Well guys, I'm all done. So, have a good night or day. Take care everyone.